Welcome back on the mat. So a block will come in handy for this class, but let us start in a nice upright seated position. You can rest your hands in your lap or on your knees. Close your eyes, your spine being nice and straight. And starting to take control of the breath, so changing your breathing pattern by deepening your inhales and your exhales through your nose. Lips are sealed, but there's no tension in the jaw. And slowly opening your eyes. We'll simply just turn the head to the right, feeling your range of motion to the one side, and then bring it back to center and over to the opposite side. Really just feeling into your neck, back to the first side, and then over to the opposite side. Back to center. Take your left hand out to the side, place your fingers on the floor. Bring your shoulder, or at least your ear, closer to your shoulder. The left shoulder becomes heavy. You can simply keep your hand in this position, or you can get your hand into a fist and just roll the wrist out. As you start rolling the wrist out, you might want to lift your chin back and forth. Just feeling into your neck. Bring it back to center. Hand back onto knee, opposite arm out to the side. Bringing the head down. So you're feeling that stretch, holding it there for a second. And should you want to do hand and fist, rolling through your wrist and even getting a bit of movement in your head, your neck. Then you can slowly bring it back to center. Let's get onto all fours. You can put the block aside for now. As you get to an all fours position, get your knees directly below your hips. Move a bit of weight forwards and then shift a bit of weight back. So very mild, very basic, just feeling into the wrists, into the forearms. With the next little exercise, you might want to do one hand at a time, or if it's possible, you do both hands. So you shift weight back to neutral. You want to lift the heels of the hands, so the palms are off the mat, keeping fingers stretched out on the mat, and then bring it down. If it's too intense, you'll lift one hand, and then lift the other, and then bring a hand down, bring hand down. Alternatively, you just lift up and down, up and down. You don't want to use the rest of your body to facilitate with this movement. Push through your hands and feel that you're getting the strength through your hands and wrists to lift up. It might not feel that glamorous. It actually might be quite intense after a little while. But just move up and down and pace it where you have to. 2 more. Last one. You might feel the flexors in the forearms working quite well, and then bring your hands down. Now straighten your legs, lift your hips into a downward facing dog. In this down dog, walk it out if you have to, but the idea is to eventually find stillness in the pose, keeping straight arms flat back, and the legs eventually straight. Always in a down dog shape. You want to work the shoulders away from ears, so no tension. Bend into your knees, look up. Inhale, step or walk feet in between hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, take arms up, reach. Exhale into mountain pose. Now you might want to find your block. If you don't have a block, you'll simply just lift ball of the foot off the mat when we do a forward bend. But if you have your block, you place block onto the mat, right foot onto the block. So the ball of the right foot goes onto the block. Left foot to match. So we've got the feet square. Take an in-breath. On exhale, lean forwards with chest and chin. And just go down, keeping both legs straight. So if you take it too far and you feel the need to start bending into the knees, then rather back out a little bit. The idea is to keep both legs straight, to give the lower half of the right leg a bit of a stretch. To intensify, if you have the flexibility, hands can be down on the floor and you can maybe even walk the hands forward slightly. That will get quite a nice stretch into the ankle as well as the calf muscle. So holding for a second. Making your way back to center and slowly come back up. Switch and do the opposite foot. Foot onto block. Heel making contact with the floor. Feet square. Exhale, come down. As you come down, feeling into the left calf muscle area. If you get the hands down, why not? If you walk the hands forwards a bit more, shifting a bit of weight forwards, you'll feel you're getting deep into the ankle. It shouldn't be too intense. You only just started with the practice. You don't want to overstretch, but you definitely want to feel that you're getting into the lower half of the leg. And you walk your hands back and slowly make your way back up into a standing position. Find your block. You're going to hold onto the block with both hands, but not with the hands that close together. You flip the block sideways. Get your feet hip distance. Use an inhale to bend into your knees, arms out in front, squat down, squeeze the block with your arms. So as you now squeeze, we'll be playing with the shoulder mobility. You want to first reach with the fingers as far away from your body as you can, protracting in the shoulders. Still sinking low, you've got weight evenly through your feet. And now do the complete opposite. Keep your arms straight, but pull the block closer to your chest. You'll feel more engagement in the shoulder blade area. One more time. Push the block away from your chest. Reach out of your fingertips, reach, and then pull it back. And now find that healthy spot in between. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, forward bend. You can simply place the block on the floor in front of you. Let's step it back into a plank shape. As you get to plank, we want to make little circles with the body. So movement is coming from the feet. You're pushing the balls of the feet into the mat, but you can do anti-clockwise, and then we'll switch. Once again, paying attention to what's happening in the wrists. And now change rotation. Bring it back to neutral, taking your hips up into a downward facing dog. And bend into knees, look up. Inhale, feet in between hands, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, bend your knees, grip hold of the block, squeeze your block and make your way up into that modified chair position, squeezing the block. Exhale, come up into a standing position. I'm going to place the block in between your legs. So we've got the small side barely just sticking out because we want to do a chaturanga with the block between legs. So you don't want too much of the block to be sticking out. With the feet now being forced hip distance, rotate the heels inwards. The idea is going to be to keep this block in between the legs for the entire sun salutation A. So inhale, Take your arms up. Exhale, forward bend, head to shins. In breath, halfway lift. Now plant your hands on exhale, step or jump back. Well, you can't step back, the block will drop, sorry. So jumping back and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale to a down dog. Feel that light activation along your inner thighs. The adductor muscles working to hug towards the midline. When we now get feet between hands, you'll have to jump, even if it's two small little jumps, or bend knees, look up, shift a bit of weight back, and then jump to the front of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, take arms to ceiling. Exhale, mountain pose. We do one more. If you need to readjust the block, do so. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward bend, head to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Planting your hands. Exhale, step or jump back. Once again, you can only jump back. Chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale to down dog. We are truly creatures of habit. Me always talking about stepping or jumping back. And when I just want you to jump back, I'll still give you the option to step back even if you have a block between your legs. Now just hold this position. We're going to feel into this plank sensation. So inhale, lower your hips into plank. And as you sort of hug to the midline with the quad muscles, the inner thighs, just feel how the dynamic of plank changes slightly. Taking your hips back up. Now bend into knees, look up. Inhale, jump feet between hands. Halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Now with an inhale, bend your knees. Take your arms up into a chair shape. Exhale, mountain pose. Now remove the block. You can put the block aside for now. Feet together. Inhale, take arms up. Exhale, forward bend, head to shins. In breath, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. You can step or jump back and lower down. In breath, up dog. Exhale, down and facing dog. On an inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, squeeze knee to chest. Angle your back foot. Pistol grip the right big toe with the left peace fingers. Take your leg out to the side. Let go of the foot. Take your arm up. Then bend your knee. Bring hand down. Take your leg back up. Exhale, knee to chest. Placing foot between hands. In this lunge position, simply shift weight back and forth. We keep the front foot firmly on the mat. Shifting a bit of weight around. Come back to a neutral position. Plant the hands firmly. Step it back. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Angle your back foot. Pistol grip the left big toe. Take the leg out to the side. You want to keep leg activation because as you let go of the leg, you can pull the knee to chest, bring your hand down, take your leg up. Exhale, knee to chest. Place foot between hands. Shift weight back and forth. And back to a neutral position. Push away from the floor. Step it back. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, make your way to down dog. The idea is to jump knees close to hands and ending up on the shins. So bend into knees, look up. Inhale, jump, and come down. Make your way up. Inhale, take arms to ceiling. Exhale, bring your arms down. Place hands onto your sacrum, so thumbs onto sacrum, fingers out to sides. Or you can just simply get the hands to point back. Very laid back, sort of half camel approach. Start to push into your back. Lift in your chest and hold. Slowly, and make your way back up. Sit back onto the heels. Position your hands firmly onto the mat. And the idea is to use a little bit of momentum to push the tops of the feet into the floor, lifting up and jumping back. So it doesn't have to be the most controlled movement. Momentum will help. But see if you can feel a strong sense of engagement in the core. That's going to allow you to take the body up. So hands onto the floor, push, lift, and take it back. Lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, and downward facing dog. Now reach with your right hand towards the right ankle. See if you can find your ankle. If it's really too challenging, then step your feet in slightly, making your down dog shorter. But the idea is to use the right hand to actively pull the down dog straight. So if you're leaning to the left side, pull onto the ankle and pull your down dog entirely straight. Now, keeping a hold on that ankle, inhale, raise your left leg. Feel the engagement in your core. It is a bit of a balancing exercise, so if you lose your balance, be patient, it's okay. Exhale, bring your left leg down. Place your foot down. Bring your right hand down onto the mat. Reach with the left hand. Now once again, scan the body. If you're leaning to the right, pull onto the ankle and pull your down dog entirely straight. Inhale, raise your right leg. There's enough activation in the body to maintain the shape. And use your exhale to lower your leg down. Bring your right, at least your left hand back down. Readjust your stance into a normal down dog position. Bend into knees, look up. Inhale, feet in between hands, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, take arms to ceiling. Exhale, mountain pose. Now in the mountain pose position, simply turn your heels out. So the feet are now internally rotated. Big toes still touching. Take a deep inhale. On exhale, hinge in the hips and turn it into a comfortable forward bend for your body. So you just relax the head down. This is believed to be quite a nice stance of forward bend. If you have a bit of sciatica, creates a bit more space in the back. This internal rotation in the hips. Just staying in this, I suppose, unusual forward bend. Use your inhale to slowly make your way back up. Playing with a different shape in the forward bend, get the heels together, toes out to the sides. External rotation, deep in-breath. Exhale, hinge in the hips. Make your way down into a forward bend. Just a little bit of a different stretch. Use the inhale to slowly make your way back up. Position your feet into normal mountain pose. Inhale, take arms up. Exhale, empty your lungs into a forward bend. Inhale halfway. Plant your hands. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga. In-breath, up dog. Exhale to down dog. We want to get into a seated position from here, so you're more than welcome to bend knees, step into seated, or bend your knees, look up, and hop into a seated position. As you get to seated, you want to straighten your legs, place your hands onto your thighs, flex your feet, lift in your sternum, and lean back slightly. So the idea is to keep length in your back, get a bit of hip flexor activation, hold this position. Slowly back to center. Keep your feet flexed. Bring your arms out in front. Imagine that you're pushing something away from your body. Reach forwards with the hands. Keep lengthening and push. So the heels push down into the floor. Fingers are reaching forwards. Now only relax your arms down. Find your feet or your ankles. Turning it into a forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Seeing as though you've got your block, maybe not a bad idea to sit on the block, just to elevate the hips, get into your comfortable seated position. The block is not a must, but I find it to be quite useful. So as you sit in your upright position, the idea is going to be to inhale for the count of 4, to hold the breath for 4 counts, and exhale for 8. So we're changing it up a little bit. We're not doing the typical breath hold or breath retention timing. So it's simply inhale 4, hold for 4, exhale 8. If the retention of breath is a bit challenging for you, simply do inhale 4, exhale 8. Hands onto the knees, close your eyes, sitting up nice and tall, and you can take your inhale through your nose. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Full inhale. Hold. Exhale. You can continue. 2 more cycles. After your exhalation, allow the breath to be natural. Just experiencing a sense of lightness in your breath. It's effortless. Even staying in this upright seated position takes minimal effort. You're just taking a moment to simply be. You just sit upright, observing how the breath moves by itself without you controlling it. Observing any other subtle sensations in the body. Perhaps a slight bit of movement in the chest or the abdomen. Warmth between your palms and your knees. Just carry this calm state of mind this lightness that you experience.